Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I go by the name of Caution Mr. 700. Reporting live from Dallas, Texas. Thug's Mansion, aka
Yes,
AllOva Media Studios. I love when I call it that in front of strangers, bro, and they kind of be like, "What the fuck? What's the next shit?" They say, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I'm glad you feel that way. I got my brother OB in the building per usual.
Yes, sir.
And for those who have watched our content and say that we are very male dominated in our opinions on things, including my wife. Every time she see that shit, she be like, "Y'all need a woman on there." You know
But I try to play the devil's advocate. I try to, I do both sides.
No, you don't do well at this shit at all. You try sometimes, but you always end up back over here. You know what I'm saying? We do have a very illustrious guest with us. I'm gonna let OB introduce her. That's what I'm gonna do. OB introduce the guest, man.
You gonna let me introduce the
Yeah,
goddamn you come into the motherfucking stage. It's my girl Marie and this motherfucker. Shit, goddamn me. What's up, baby?
Hey y'all, hey.
Yeah. So as a brief introduction to my introduction to you, I think I found out about you through people you may know because of O'Brien, right? Mm-hmm. But I used to see the little short video clips of you talking and just dialogue about whatever it was that was going on at that point in time. I think you coined one of my favorite internet phrases where I don't even know if somebody else said it before, but the Mr. Nigga, I used to think that shit was hilarious. So that kind of shit is kind of how I came about your content prior to knowing, friending you on Facebook and seeing you speak and things like that. But very opinionated on a lot of things that from my perspective on, everything from world issues to, politics and, not necessarily the pop culture type of thing. I don't see you delve into a lot of that too much, but when you do, it's usually about more on the serious side. You know what I'm saying? So, if you can't let people know who you are, what you do, what you're comfortable with them knowing, you know what I'm saying? All of that.
I think, so of course I'm a woman, so I'm always talking about things, women-centered issues. I talk about things, I'm black too, so I talk about things related to that, and I think that right now one of my big passionate things is probably geopolitics more than anything, and how it impacts us even though people don't realize it, because I think oftentimes people are like, well, that ain't got shit to do with me, right. And just because you don't know how it impacts you doesn't mean it doesn't impact you, right. So I feel like I spend a lot of time, I'm big on information, I'm big on making sure that misinformation is corrected, so even too it may not align with me or may not even be what I would like to be true, but if it's true I would like to correct it, make sure that people are getting the information that they need so they can make good decisions.
Facts.
That's what's up.
And I think that's important though, especially in today's climate with the type of information that circulates on the internet and what's available to people who don't take the time to research. And every time I see something outlandish and see people jump off of a cliff about it, I always go check the source. And I'm at a point now where I don't even be wanting to correct people, because it just be damn, all you gonna want to do is argue. Even if I just try to politely correct you, but I find myself doing a lot of trolling on a lot of shit like that too. And I'll get caught up in it, especially on my timeline, because it's a lot of people I don't follow, so it just pops up randomly. So I just comment on anything now. I don't care what it is. But you can get caught up in that though, and I think a lot of people do get caught up in that. But
it's hard not to.
Exactly. But you do have to be measured. You do have to be measured.
Let me, this ain't for me, or why am I wasting my time? I'll even type up a whole little pair. You know what? Let me
get rid of it. Yeah. I swear I do that so often.
Why?
Yeah, because I don't like engaging with a lot of things that don't really have a point or a purpose.
Some people just won't want to hear themselves.
Yeah, but it always be dumb.
It do sometimes. It do.
Be loud and dumb.
Bro, I don't even go as hard as I
reason.
used to go, bro. I used to talk a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah,
now,
you did.
bro, I just be like, bro, I be cooler now. I don't be gonna hear that shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I be I still do my thing, and I still believe what I believe and all that shit. I just be like, bro, it's just too much.
Yeah.
It'll get too much. You be like, God damn. Because I used to be like, we gotta do this and this, and we gonna do this and Black Power and this. But if everybody dumb as fuck and they ain't paying attention, they do motherfuckers be in it it's like I just gave up. Or I ain't say I gave up, but I just be like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah. Believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care. I'm gonna do me.
You got a little fatigue.
I think
it gives you a little bit of fatigue.
No, it is exhausting. It's very exhausting. It's very exhausting when people they play into certain things. So because a lot of times,
but they ain't finna change.
No, they're not finna change.
Right.
But then I think too, my thing is, like a lot of people aren't ready to receive information. And I say that to say that you have an opinion, which is an opinion, not something based on facts. There's no statistical data behind it. And someone can present that information to you and you still hold on. Like we're seeing that with the mega group, whether they mega whites or mega blacks. It's like they just holding on to MAGA like,
and
well,
be bullshit. They know it's bullshit.
But they will like stand 10 toes down where it's very frustrating. Like, are you effing kidding me? It's fine if you, and let's say you are a Republican, this is at least be able to talk your shit and have receipts and stand on and be able to tell me why this policy or that or whatever particular reason it's benefiting you to feel this way. Outside of just being like, well, you know, he don't hate black people. Like, I don't know. I'm like, oftentimes white people are inherently racist. Even white people that might even be in community with black people. White people have a difficult time not centering themselves. So even if it could be a friend, a relative, a significant other.
They show that in the movies. It's called the Superman effect.
Yeah, after a while, it's kind of like...
When it's a black movie, it's like it's always got to be a white person to save the day.
Facts. Yeah,
He the main character and help him.
And the catch is though, their group, they're individualists, right? So even too, they can care about your movement, they can care about your plight, be empathetic, understand, and even sometimes ally with you. But in some ways, they don't even ally with each other.
Right.
So so with each other, they act as individuals. That's why there's the disparities that they have within their own community because they don't really have community like that. They're individualists.
Yeah, they are.
That's why even when you look at, let's say you look at black culture, whether you're talking somewhere in Africa, we're talking about the Caribbean. We're talking about Latin America. There's so many similarities, but you will never go to Russia and Ireland and see the same type of shit. Like it's a completely because they're really tribal and individuals. They're only white when it comes to us. When it comes to like
they link up together, no matter where they're from.
Even Middle Easterns are white when it comes to us, but white folks don't like a lot of Middle Easterns, and they're doing everything they can to I guess to shame them or using Islamophobia. But when it come to money or something getting, naysayers, then it's like, well, he's white, and they are classified as white technically in America.
But you know that
until they not until something them piss them off until Governor Abbott got mad about something, they trying to buy some land or have a good school or something.
But that come from just the whole thing of this religion just being on some Christians against Muslim shit, and that shit is like been going on for hundreds of years. And you would think like, bro, if y'all really, I feel like if you really believe in what you believe in, you would know this shit. What we beefing for? You do you, I'ma do me. It's all good. It's like, I look at it like it's two big ass gangs. That's how I look at politics. Just like Republicans and Democrats, it's like Crips and Bloods. It's like Muslims and Christians. It's like Crips and Bloods. They be bombing each other, going at each other for decades.
But
and it's not about territory. It's almost like, bro, I be thinking when I start sitting back, I look at this shit like a fucking movie. It's like we be sitting back and it's like you got these people over here, you got these people over here, they gonna beef with these people, and it's like forever and a day, they forever beefing with each other. They might get money with each other for every now and then, but as you see now, if I can fuck over you to take what you got, I'm gonna come make false statements and say you got this and you ain't really got shit, or you really ain't even tripping on y'all over there, but I'm gonna come fuck y'all shit up and then take your shit. And then,
so in layman's terms, kind of break down what's going on right now, with us in Iran. Like what's, if you could explain that to somebody that wouldn't necessarily know the ins and outs over the years and things that have happened and transpired, but like what's actually going on there?
Honestly, it's a long game. Like, it's not even just like a simple thing. It's really a long game. If you look at every war in the Middle East, there's been one proponent that has been consistent in every single war, whether it was the first invasion of Iraq, the second invasion of Iraq, Afghanistan, the whole Middle East. It's actually been Israel. And it's actually been Bibi Netanyahu each time. So I feel like he has a vision of expanding Israel. They already got Palestine, right? And they use all types of rule, or they say, well, the Belfort Agreement or this or that, which even the Belfort Agreement was, so it was like, basically there was a lord that said they were going to give them this land because they were taking it over from the Omen. But it was really also to rally support for World War I. They needed people. So it was like trying to, incentivize. And then once they were done with that, they kind of tried to roll it back. It just didn't go the way they wanted to, and the Rothschilds involved. So it's like these big players it is like when people talk like about Illuminati and it sounds like bullshit, a lot of that actually is legit. Even the CIA has like 230-page PDF files on the Illuminati that we all feel like it's just it don't exist. There's a real shadow society that's
they run shit.
Especially in the context of how people had it initially.
Absolutely. So
I know Jay-Z and these black folks ain't part of that motherfucker. I know that goddamn much. When they be trying to put their ass in the mix.
They ain't running it.
No, they not. If anything, they're just members.
Yeah, that's all.
And that's the thing too, where what it boils down to, it's really about because people say, well, strategic access, but we already have Bahrain, we have Saudi Arabia, we have bases all over there. This is really about Israel. This ain't got shit to do with us. In fact, when Trump ran, he ran on not going to war with Israel. Yeah. Kamala was actually talking about going to war with Israel. She even mentioned something about having a lethal military and all this stuff. Like, she was actually very pro-war in her campaign, but I also think she was trying to appeal to conservatives. But Trump was all America first, we not gonna do this. But I really feel like they got some on him. Like, so what, they got some videos, because especially with those Epstein files.
For sure.
And then they taking shit out the file.
Yeah, and then his
they don't make
to the Mossad and all of them. Like, nah, you there's something they got on that man, because he wasn't finna go to war with them. And the interesting part too was they were supposed to have a vote earlier this week on if they were to actually go to war, and he still went ahead over the weekend and did it anyways. Yeah. But it ain't got nothing to do with us. It keeps taking money from us. Even they were showing like how
they getting rich off of us.
Absolutely.
They getting filthy rich. And doing all this bullshit. These motherfuckers getting not millions, they getting billions of dollars.
All those big companies, Lockheed Martin, all those government contracts, etc.
They're taking all that shit for themselves.
And again, this was the America First people. So that's why too with the Black MAGA, like,
They sound dumb as fuck to me.
Like, you don't
bruh.
see where the problem is, and people will make up things and say, oh, well, it's to help us, but there's really no advantage. There's more risk for us than anything, and then we're risking those relationships we've already built over there, because if anything, we're creating problems. And these other countries have enough knowledge to say, hey, we know that this isn't just Iran. Right. So they're like kind of like, I don't like Saudi Arabia's talking about backing out of an agreement they already had with the United States, where it was like about money, the UAE. And so overall, we're killing our alliances while simultaneously backing a country that isn't really an ally. It's a welfare state. Right. Like it wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for American tax dollars, and they have access to healthcare, education, etc.
We can't get shit in this motherfucker.
No. And again, that's supposed to be America first. And they ride like you would think that this was United States of Israel.
Right. That's what it looks like. That's how it's coming off. I was wondering why we were so concerned with whatever was going on there, but like you said, it got to be something deeper, especially with Trump.
I just think money.
Got on you?
It's money. It's money and blackmail. But so the Mossad is like their version of the CIA. What's interesting is when the FBI, the CIA, and the Mossad all came established, it was all like 1, 2, 3, like do. It was also when we worked with Britain. What is it, Eisenhower, to establish to give Palestine to the Jews after World War II, after the genocide that they experienced. So it's like the Mossad and the CIA, they're always been tightly woven, and to some degree there's been stuff like where they people, like, I don't know if you guys, there was a ship that they bombed, the CIA bombed, or not CIA, Israel bombed. I want to say it was the USS, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it really happened. 38 Americans died, and all the people that survived actually legitimately feel like that they did it on purpose. Like it wasn't an accident. They knew it was our ship. We had our flags up, everything. They did that on purpose. They've stolen our missile technology. Like, they've spied on us on a regular basis, and this is like who we ally with. But I feel like, again, there's the money there. The Rothschilds are involved. They're key players that are like, what did Trump even said that the Miriam Adelson or something, she gave him a bunch of money, like came to him. It almost was like you legitimately just said she bribed him.
I remember that she gave him like almost like $500 million.
Billionaire.
She gave him like $500 million.
She has crazy. Big long money. She has casinos in Korea. She owns a portion of the Mavs. There's so many things going on with that, where it's like that you definitely, like, people are being bribed. Even when he was taking all that money from the different from different companies, Facebook, this, that, he had that little fund. Like, is that legal?
I feel like what he doing is, like you said, he bribing. He getting something because he the president. Hey man, y'all gotta watch them. This. Getting something on them, then coming to them like, hey, you need to make a public thing. This you'll give me this amount of money. This. He getting rich, bro. The dude became
getting rich is doing what they but doing they're really his advisors. These
right.
I thought I saw
corporations.
something where they said he was like he's probably made more money than any president that's ever been in office.
He making billions of dollars, bro, and they ain't stopping him. But if it was somebody else, they would have damn sure jumped in
it
the
would have
mix.
been absolutely problematic.
Bro.
And not to say that they don't make money, because typically they do, just for the endorsements, the relationships
Right.
they build.
But
So
this much?
it is consistent, but he just
Yeah, it's next level
beyond
shit.
anything we've ever seen.
But they took Bill Clinton down for getting some head. I think if you're a president, you should be able to get some head, bro.
Bill Clinton seemed off his shit. I was watching some of that disposition that he had. Like he seemed so off his shit. Like
I couldn't tell he was actually nervous too.
A little
Like
bit.
part of me was
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
is he aging or was he nervous? Like,
I
cause
think
he's
a little
sitting up
both.
in the middle of the line,
He had a little
recalling the
trimmer.
line.
You know what I'm saying? When I saw the little trimmer.
I
I
wouldn't
think
have
it's
picked up
both, bro. I think it's a little bit of both. I think he probably was down there kicking it. He probably was doing that. He's like, damn. Even
They
if
was showing them pictures and shit.
And he was like, damn.
of him with people in Epstein and all that shit, and he was smiling at the pictures and shit, like he remembered something.
He
I
knows
was like,
everything.
this
He
nigga
like,
is
nah.
tripping. If y'all just let him talk, we'll learn a whole lot.
of
His lawyer
shit.
kept trying to shut him up though, but that's how it goes. You know, I'm sure it's all kind of shit that's taking place.
But that's also too, you know, everyone's like, well, he said Trump. I'm sure he did say Trump ain't do shit because they all did something. And you can't, at that point, you got everybody. We all got
standard answer.
Yeah.
we
Everybody's
got to
got it
stick
out.
in this together, because
Facts.
if one little thread gets unloosed,
We all
this
out
whole
there.
thing
I just
finna
wonder
unravel.
But that was
how
a-
much
that was
he's
a
woven.
worldwide thing,
I
bro.
wonder how much he's woven his way, Epstein, as far as throughout that type of situation, because it's not just here in America.
No, he was
Of
all
course,
over.
he was all
Everywhere.
over, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
It was people coming from England, Russia. It was people coming from everywhere. The hell, Bill
Andrew.
Gates, man, they caught his ass up.
And you say
Then he
he
came.
ain't did nothing out there.
Then he came out. Remember, he came on TV and apologized. Just the other day, he was up
What he said?
apologizing.
He said, I cheated on my wife, but I didn't do
Bro,
nothing at the island.
he had all them, but the Russian girls came from the island.
Yeah.
Even his wife was like, she had some interview, and she's like, well, I'll let him tell you.
Right. Knowing damn well he ain't gonna tell the truth.
He ain't gonna tell it, bro. But that money can buy that type of shit.
But it just goes back to all this money going out. Everyone's getting help, but Americans.
Still.
That's what's crazy.
The money
It's
they're
wild.
spending, like the money they spent in the weekend, we probably could have had like you know, we always talk about where we're going to build that railing where you could do that speed rail.
Oh yeah.
From Houston to Dallas, or from, you know,
They
we could have
been
built
it.
speed rail across the entire country over just the money that they spent this weekend. And the Pentagon, they just have this unlimited budget and there's no accountability. They don't have to explain where shit came from. Nothing. You ain't got to tell nobody. And they just be losing money, and no one's like, so nobody's in trouble?
Right.
Nobody's going to jail in this MAGA
it going.
shit.
Keep it
Nobody.
going.
It's crazy. Like, bro, what the hell?
But a regular American
You going
will
to jail?
be some woman, she used food stamps to purchase like ingredients to cook food to sell, and she in prison she in jail right now. She got
That lady just had on trial. Her ass took $145 million, and they just don't know where it's at. It just disappeared.
They'll
And you
lock
know
up
the
the
one that
wrong
was just on
people for
track gotta go.
Yeah.
That's a lot. $145,
That's the
$55
American
million
way,
dollars.
bro. That's the way this
And
shit
she was
works.
in jail. She should have been like, oh yeah, we finna. No, what you got going on?
Or what about Trump's little peace club?
Oh my God.
You know, he has like mine.
Did you gotta pay $500 million to get in?
First of all the money
Come
they
on,
have
bro.
right now in the Peace Club is actually American tax dollars, and so they have this Peace Club. So you got a Peace Club with $10 million of $1 billion of American tax dollars, and you out here starting wars and shit.
Look, this is
A week later?
But they just tell me what I be looking at. I'm like, bro, Caucasians can be they so damn dumb, bro. It's like this what y'all be voting for. This what y'all be up in arms for. But that shit really go back on them. Really just want some like, how can I say it?
It's power, bro.
They thought all this shit is going on now. It still ain't ding to them. That he ain't even helping y'all ass either. But they want it to be fucked up with us.
Because
They want to fuck up us, and you know what I'm saying. That's what they really thinking. Like, oh shit, I get to own slaves again, low key type shit.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's like not being able to like catch the agenda. So Democrats have like fucked over black people, Latinos.
All the
Like
time.
they have let people hang. But I feel
Facts.
like Republicans have done the same thing to poor white people. That's
And
what
they don't
there's
even
such a
think about
huge.
it.
People don't even realize, like, you know, we'll talk about the disparity among blacks and whites, and it's valid, right? But even 10% of like whites actually hold all their wealth. The other 90% are poor.
Yeah.
But of course, we don't really talk about it because we're not looking at them. I'm not gonna be
Right.
looking down at the trailer park and looking because that ain't really my business. And they keep them hidden, right? Because they control the media. They control
Yeah.
They control the view, what we get to see. So as far as we know, oh, these whites are doing well. 90% of them are not.
Hell no.
But they're angry.
But they'll go and vote.
Yeah,
They'll go vote for Trump.
Yeah.
They'll go vote for what that word they're saying is to shoot your face off despite your nut. What's the word? You know what I'm
cut
saying?
your nose to spite your face, or
Yeah,
what
like
you
bro,
say?
come on, bro. Like what?
Choose
y'all hate us so much that y'all fuck over your own self.
But it's like they've done a great job of pitting us against each other and making it seem like we over there, they got all the cookies. And they got us looking at each other for like one cookie. Oh, absolutely. Because really, he had the vision that they're afraid of the most.
Oh, yeah. They had to get rid of that.
Poor white people getting together, them English motherfuckers, Asians, all them motherfuckers.
Everybody was together because at the end of the day, too, that's going to be the only way we're going to really, it's really us against them. It's not red versus blue.
Yeah, it can't be.
It's really us.
It's more powerful.
It's 98% of us versus this 2%. But we're not gonna be able to see that because their objective is to keep us pitted. Because if we all came together, that would be problematic.
Whole shit is based off racism. They whole shit. When they talk, you be like, bro, like, even when you, that's why I get mad at the black, I ain't gonna say I get mad, I don't give a fuck, but the black MAGA motherfuckers, you be like, bro, like, are y'all not paying attention to this shit y'all part of?
They just go off so much misinformation. Like, it seems like
but even misinformation, bro, as a black man, black woman, how dumb are you, bro?
They don't,
I think it goes back to sometimes people's they think that their proximity to whiteness, and we see it with foreigners, we see it, and we also see it with a certain group of conservative blacks where they feel like, going back to what is it, like, you know, you feel like if you act a certain way, you conduct yourself. Respectability politics, right? So you think respectability politics is going to save you. And we see, like I said, we see it across the board. We'll see that with, you know, immigrants that come over here, whether they're coming over from India, they're coming over here from Haiti, or coming over. So it's like they play this part because they feel like, well, if we act like this, the white people are going to be more receptive to us. And ultimately, it's only if you can benefit them. Even if you're Asian, it's only if you can benefit them. The moment you can't benefit them, then you're whatever they say you are. You're a sand nigger or whatever whatever they really calling you behind your back. Because the moment that they can't get something from you, or you're not performing for them. Yeah. But I genuinely think, though, a lot of people think that, like, maybe my proximity to whiteness to save me. I think it's a misconception. But initially they believe that.
Yeah. But let's go back to the slavery time. You had black motherfuckers like that was like, well, shit, maybe he won't fuck over me. But you ain't even seeing a bigger picture. He fucking over all your people. Yeah. This what we pissed me off.
And even making you an exception actually makes you a target to your people.
Right.
Facts.
For real, you look dumb.
Yeah. Because how you just getting used. Yourself? You worried about yourself amidst everything else that's going on. But there are individuals that'll fight for just that little bit of closeness, just to be adjacent. You know what I'm saying? Adjacent. Without any,
just to be the house. What kind of house
really benefit you because of like how short the string is. It doesn't matter if it's corporate America or bullshit friendships or relationships. I always feel like those relationships are so tough. I don't even know if you can do it successfully without having to worry about that in the back of your mind. Like, I don't see how you could. Because like you said, racism is inherited. You get that shit from your parents and their parents' parents, and
they still hold views or thought processes.
Even when they be like, I'm not racist, I'm not this.
You could have black children and you still might have some views where it's kind of like, wait a minute.
You hear it all the time. Some of them mixed kids. You hear it all the time. But like, man, my mama say all the time. Well, my daddy say,
my mama don't say the N word or nothing, but she's definitely said things to me that came across like a microaggression. I have a white mother, but I really be on her ass sometimes too, which I kind of feel bad because I think some of it's generational. Because then I'll even catch like my ex-husband's mom, who's a black woman. She'll say something where it's like, you just said the same stupid shit, but just a different. Okay, so it got to be a boomer thing. Right. Okay, so is that what it is? Because y'all. Did you really just say that? Like, So
I got a question. So do you ever have like issues with it? Like people fuck with you like, okay, because you're not like, how can you know what I mean? You're not like really like black. you ain't like black like me black.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think people mess with me about it, but I notice things like, for example, not even that, but remember when we used to be in BEM together? Yeah. Like, remember that one time we had to go down to, what's that center in South Dallas? We were going to speak. It's a Pan-African.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about, yeah.
And that was the one time we were doing, there was another group, like, organization.
They leaning at you like, what the fuck are you?
And then they wanted me to be the person that got to go up there to speak. And mind you, and it's so, but because I'm aware, though. Like, I'm aware, and even then, my hair would be blonde. Like, I'm aware of, like, I fit like a fetish to some degree. Like, so it's like, why would I be? And I don't, and while, yes, I can be well-spoken, I don't think I'm the right person to get up here and represent. There were actual real Black Panthers, like original elder Black Panthers there that day, you know what I mean? Right. And while yes, I contribute a lot to this organization, should I be that person? Right. And recognizing that there should be, I was like, there should be a woman that's actually darker than me. Like a woman that's black on social media. You know what I mean? And not to say that I'm not black or to take away from that, but I also feel like that sometimes representation has to look a certain way. Gotcha. Because a lot of times too, again, like being adjacent, my adjacentness to whiteness, let's just be honest, my complexion, you know, my hair not like the whole. There's so many things that kind of make like why I don't think I should be the person.
So I get when I growing up, I always said this about more like mixed people. And this is nothing against you. You have two type of mixed people. You had the one they can be mixed black mama, whatever, vice versa, whatever. They either go be real like on some pro black shit, like for black people, like they know like the hood, they know what's up. Then you either have the mixed people, they not really fucking with black folks like that. They don't even fuck with that side of their family. They probably just go fuck with just their white folks, and then you see them more so like they end up probably marrying a white man, a white woman. That type of shit.
I think it's their upbringing, because even too, so full transparency, I grew up in a town outside of Chicago called Evanston, and my stepmother, she's a German white woman. She was the only white woman on our block. I never questioned, like I was always just black. Right. Like even, my dad, the funny part is I remember one time when I was someone light skinned, my dad had a problem with it. Like he called them bunny rabbit eyes and something like that. And I'm like, you over here dating all white women. Yeah. And you but I've always been taught to like love blackness and align, like I'm a black woman. No matter what I do when I go out in the world, I'm seen as a black woman. I never and I think something came up once where it's like it dawned on me, I could never say I'm white. If I show up somewhere and say I'm white, folks will think I'm like that shit crazy. Like no matter how I look, or even when I speak, like I do have racial ambiguity. Right. So I can walk into a space and people aren't going to necessarily know what I'm going to be, but mostly they think I'm Hispanic or something. Like black folks always recognize me. White folks never do. White folks never clock that I may actually have a white mother, or they just don't. And it's almost like, it's interesting though, because too sometimes they'll even white explain something to me, or I'm just like,
I just know you be on motherfuckers' ass on social media, and I know some motherfuckers can come across. Some people, especially some dudes and women, can be on some, oh, you're not even black. You're not even this. I
had a foundational black person tell me that, but initially she thought I was Hispanic. So then when she found out I wasn't Hispanic, then it was like, oh, well, when she found out I had a white mother. That doesn't change the fact that my ancestors have been here since the late 1600s, early 1700s, and I can actually take you to the exact plantation in South Carolina. There's even a plaque for the slave owner, but it was like all of a sudden, but it was like, I feel like it's somebody just trying to find something. Like, bitch, you ain't had. At first, I wasn't. First, you thought I wasn't black, so you thought I was just like, oh, now it's like, oh, you have a white mother. Like, okay, you just finding something, but it ain't changed. And I'm not. I understand what FBA is about, but for me personally, I feel like the disenfranchisement and marginalization that we experience as black people is throughout the diaspora. To me, it means more than just being like, well, because I'm an American and and I was here. Like, why would this a hellhole? Right. Why would I be proud to some degree where it's like I'm so proud that this person can't be in part of this? To me, that's so divisive. Yeah. And you think that white people don't care. Matter of fact, so you just to me, I think
they be divisive inside their own. That's my whole thing about them. They be divisive within their own shit. It's be like, and then it's like you have. I ain't gonna lie, you be having other African people too, like from Africa, be on some other bullshit sometimes too. But I've never encountered that.
No, I haven't either. Yeah. I know it exists, but I think
I do too, because I know it is some Africans that don't really fuck with us like that.
No, for sure.
But then I feel like that goes back to the proximity of your whiteness, or even how we're viewed outside the country because of the way the media portrays us.
That's a fact.
So I don't necessarily know if it's just a direct attack or what they're being told, and we've all been indoctrinated in some way or shape or form, right? So to some degree, it's like, I don't knock you. I'm not going to hold it against you completely, but I don't knock you. No different than I'm never going to be against anybody like that's actually being impacted the same way I am, because we all are, right? Yeah. So it's like for me to be like, well, it's different. What's happening in, let's say, Mississippi, they got their own issues they're dealing with. We see it in a lot of predominantly black communities, or even hell, we see it in the poor white communities. We just not really seeing it because they're not showing it, right? Yeah. But I'm always going to be for the people that are being marginalized. And I also understand that everyone doesn't come to, like, how I want to say this. Everyone doesn't see the light. There comes a moment when you kind of wake up to the bullshit.
You wake up to being wake up.
Yeah, so it's like all of a sudden, you extra, you vigilant. And at the time you over there fucking up Thanksgiving, you got all this stuff to bring up. Everyone kind of annoyed with you, your family, because it's like you just found out. Like you just like everyone doesn't come to that at the same time. Like even sometimes when I have to see people that are maybe Mexican or, Puerto Rican or this or that, and it's like maybe they're talking about how their kids, well, they're not speaking Spanish. Spanish is another colonizer language. Right. But it's like they still haven't came to that conclusion yet, or thought about that, or really just dug deep into that. Like, no, you had an indigenous language that you spoke before these white people came over here
and gave you
and took your land.
A lot of people don't misunderstand. The Spaniards was white.
Yeah.
They don't understand the Spaniards were white people.
But even white people forget that. Like my mother, she did not. Like we had some conversation. It wasn't until I had a cousin who married a woman that was from Spain, and she was a white woman, blue eyes. And my mom was like, I never really registered that Spaniards are white people. Like they
think they're Hispanic, they think Spanish or whatever. Spaniards are originally are the original white people that went around doing the shit that we motherfuckers be on now.
Yeah.
White folks be on now.
They did, you know, what they started, the first slave trade was the Portuguese.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was the early 1400s.
And they were darker skinned people.
Then Britain was late. You know what I mean? They were late to the party. So it's just like, y'all don't, but it's like, people don't realize that. So it's like, I don't take it personal when I see stupid shit or whatever. I just kind of, okay, you just don't know.
Yeah.
I can't fault you for what you don't know.
Yeah. Ignorance is definitely the majority of what you see and what people lead with nowadays. That's why it's hard to have conversations that are meaningful without either somebody getting offended or wanting to be disrespectful, or they don't have any talking points, so they just resort to the same shit. They
fuck you,
regurgitate the same rhetoric they've heard on fucking
on a
whatever,
meme,
on a meme or whatever fucking news channel they get their information from.
They rely on social media for their information.
They don't be thinking none of this shit be a lie. I just think especially like sitting up be on CNN and all that shit. I'm like, bro, you don't think that's some bullshit?
On the majority.
Something like that should be bullshit. You gotta think about the news only go give you so much, even when you thinking it's like they going to your favor.
Because it's like, who's telling the news? That's why I subscribe to everything. Like you
gotta listen to all that shit.
Like full transparency, I get like conservative newsletters that come to my thing. I actually get Trump's newsletters too. I get all, because I'm looking at everything. Like I was reading something like, oh, libtards, that was harsh, but I was reading stuff over. But I look at everything because I can't trust just one part, because I don't know what your agenda is or what your plan is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's the thing too. A lot of propaganda's out there. They use propaganda to do everything. No different than even going into Iraq or Iran or whatever. They use propaganda about Islam, Muslims and stuff like that, in order to make us okay with some of that. Like some folks like, well, they killing their women or whatever. Like we be killing, like first femicide is high as fuck in America. So what do you do if we cared about women? Then they bomb a girls' school.
Whole girls' school. Like,
and then it's like, but I thought y'all cared about the women. Well, we want to kill them. That's what it is.
Yeah, we don't want them to do it.
You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing about religion. They go over there and bomb all this shit, and you be like, it's kind of like, so to me, Christians, Muslims, y'all full of shit.
It's been weaponized.
It's weaponized. So now it's like, bro, we going over here because they not Christians, like they not this. It's crazy.
I have a real problem with institutional religion or organized religion. Like, and it doesn't matter where it's from.
I call it a cult. I think it's all a cult.
I don't like even like the NOI. Like I respect them, but there's certain things I've kind of looked at like and had some questions about, but I ain't trying to insult nobody. So it's like one of the things, I ain't trying to insult nobody, because I will say I have a lot of respect for. I respect your submission to God. However, sometimes it's your hierarchy or your politics within your religion that is questionable to me. Like mixing Islam with Scientology, questionable to me.
Very much
There's
so.
something like I don't know.
Y'all
crossing the lines here. I'm not sure about that. So I do have a problem with organized religion. But then going back to they weaponize religion so much it actually just turns people off. They use it for that's how they use a lot of the policies or the bills that they're passing. They're using religion right now.
For sure.
You know, whether they're
control women.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we don't know that's still things about women, but just for them to control women. Yeah. Like I feel like you should be able to. No man should be able to sign a law and say what a woman can and can't do with her body. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's bullshit. That don't have nothing to do with you, bro.
Yeah, I think the organized religion thing always just freaked me out. Like I grew up. My mother was Jehovah's Witness when I grew up. And like I never really understood it, but it always seemed very creepy to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was just one of them things where I never could kind of put my finger on it.
Something ain't right. I don't know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? And so as I got older and I started realizing about like their governing body and like the anointed, as they call them. But there's a group of like 12 motherfuckers. Men, these old ass men that make all the decisions. And I was like, that seems a little, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And then there was like a whole bunch of shit that popped up about it. And I just never understood it. So even from like an early age, like I'm talking about 12 or 13, nigga, I was done with it.
That's it. But see, it's like me when I used to go to church all the time. I was just like, I used to listen to a lot of this shit when I was, I grew up in a Christian church, Christian house. Grandma used to go to church. I'll take my wins. I'm in church. I used to always be like, this don't really, it's like a book I read in the elementary school, like in middle. You know what I'm saying?
Some of this is fantasy.
This is fantasy. This is not real.
Like this that maybe
but people believe a lot of this shit. People actually believe this is what they believe. Oh, this woman had a whole child and didn't have no thing up in her.
Even too, they're justifying.
But I'll be like, come on now, y'all. Let's like, if that would happen one time, it definitely is gonna happen again after 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 years.
Why was he so special?
I already know it actually happens with animals, but does not. We don't have it recorded where it's ever happened with humans.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, that's like but
I have a problem with anything that leads back to a man. I just can't.
But
trust
this is my thing. I tell people get mad.
Even that the book I can't all the way like you sure.
Listen, people get mad when I say this all the time.
We're gonna keep managing to come up with like who are these people?
Like come on, bro.
We're gonna annoy everybody. Okay, my name's John. I could have been back there too. Like I don't understand. Like man, I just know the logic behind it. If it's all made up, right? If none of it is real. The way that they've like made it seem and how they base it, it's just all very weird to me.
And they will kill your ass behind that shit.
Oh, facts.
They will kill your ass behind what they. Some people will go that hard.
They're gonna go hard on us just for talking about it in this manner.
Man, they be all right.
You know what movie?
Shit,
that, like,
you know,
really,
they know I don't give a damn. You gonna be all right.
What movie really captured the issue or how religion is used? Book of Eli.
Yeah, very much so.
You remember he was like they was really about to go to war, just trying to. They wanted access to this book, and this book was in this man's head because they knew the power of it. And we see that every day. Like I'll go. So for example, I've gone to Barbados. Barbados, for one, like marijuana is a felony. But for some reason alcohol is okay, which actually alcohol is one of the most dangerous substances you could ever consume. Even just a little bit of alcohol is actually very harmful to your brain, to your body overall. That being said, alcohol is legal, but they're very conservative, super conservative, but there's so much poverty. They've sold out so much of their land to investors and stuff like that, that even people in their 40s, they don't have homes, they still stay in their parents' homes. Even just the most basic home is over 100-something thousand, and then the cost of living is just absurd. Even going out into like the local place, I think I got like a jerk plate, and I was in like where the locals be, it was $30 for a jerk plate. I'm like, y'all got me fucked up. Like,
that's crazy. That's expensive as hell.
Yes, but one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, but just a place where like they were using religion. Like even so, I had on. I think we went somewhere. We were out traveling island, whatever. And I think we had went by the beach, or whatever. So I had like something on, and like maybe like a halter shirt. We went into this cave. Why did they ask me if I could go cover up like the security?
For
like,
real?
can you, which was funny. I'm like, this white woman, she ain't like, it's because I got titties. Like she showing her flat chest. She ain't got no problem with that. But they legitimately asked me, and then I don't know how they thought I was, because when I changed, it was like, well, you still look very beautiful. You know that, right? I'm old as hell. Like, do you know? Like, I'm almost 40 years old. Like, I'm not some little kid. Like, I was.
You said, man, all that shit really.
But they're just that conservative.
That's
but going back
crazy.
to imagine being that poor and that conservative. That's what always scares me or concerns me in general, is when you see so much religion and so much poverty and like within the same in proximity to each other. To me, that's some bullshit. So basically, you tied my hands.
I'm using you.
You use religion to tie my hands. I've seen people in poor marriages using religion. Like, well, I don't think God wants you to be cheating on like that. I don't even know if you invited him to the wedding anyways.
Right.
You know, but it's crazy. It's crazy how it's been used to, just like they used the Bible, you know, in slavery to manipulate the slaves. You know, and not to say that the Ethiopian Bible, where there isn't purity somewhere, but it's been lost. It's been lost after the tens of thousands of years. Man has found a way to exploit it and make it what they needed to be.
That's what I'm saying. To their own benefit.
Everybody got their own legit, own shit.
Everybody got a little jug. You know what I'm saying?
I see
like,
why it was so much outrage with the shit with Drewski, and he was making fun of the pastors. I was like, this
so
can't be like a secret.
But I mean, I don't understand.
Why y'all ashamed of what y'all
because
show us
I'm exposing. If I expose you and too many people start looking at that, they think higher. So now I'm looking at it like, oh damn, he making fun of this. Oh well, damn, my pastor kind of do that. Oh damn, my pastor do be on some bullshit.
So
he do drive billion. I mean, and I can't ask these motherfuckers for shit, but they asking me to give them $100 every motherfucking Sunday. You gonna start putting people that be brainwashed. It don't never like. I was in church my whole life growing up, and it just one day it just like I always thought it was bullshit, but I was just like, I ain't fucking with this shit no more.
I'll go to church as an adult now because, like, you know, I'll do it now for the very sake of like my wife goes to church, or she likes to go to church for like Mother's Day and like Easter. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna get dressed and go up here and take some pictures, whatever.
Yeah. I like the music.
Sit there and just kind of the music. You see that shit, but then like I'm just kind of like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if I'm touched. Let's see if it. I never caught the Holy Ghost. Let's see if it gets into me. You know what I'm saying? I get the same thing every time I leave church. We sat here, I listen to you talk. Eventually, you get to a point in the sermon where
same book. You in the same thing every Sunday. It's nothing different.
Maybe it's a series about giving or finances or that kind of shit that kind of sprinkle a little something on it. That shit makes me feel the same way every time.
For me, full transparency, I love a good speech. So that's why I don't trust my I don't even trust myself. Like if you like a speech, it don't even gotta be about God. It could be about anything. I love a TED talk. I'm over here like, oh yeah.
That gives some good game.
So I be careful about that. I used to go to this one church and I was a member. I was there frequently, and then one day it dawned on me I didn't see a lot of black people in leadership at all.
Yeah.
I noticed that they were always reaching up and more concerned about the wealthier members or whatever. Now I will say that it was a white church, but they had a building fund. They actually built the building. It was very quick.
That's always listening. They got one of those.
So that was like legit. They weren't passing that offering tray all the time. They just had a thing on the door. You leave out, you put that in there. But for me, it was me recognizing that. While I appreciated, I will say, I feel like I was also going through my divorce, and so it did get me through. I was in therapy and going to church, so it did help me through some stuff. But I just started recognizing stuff like, well, I don't see people that look like me.
Right.
And even one time I showed up on a Wednesday, it was supposed to be Bible study, and just so happened it was like the memorial of somebody that was a member, but he was a black man, and he actually he impacted a lot. Like that place was full. Right. He impacted a lot of people. You mean to tell me he wasn't in the clergy or part of anything in here, and he just was a member? Okay, so I seen something. Was like, okay, I see some a pattern of nepotism.
Yeah.
You got your son up there. He can't even preach very well, to be honest with you. So so that's what really changed my mind. And then what it was to me is in the Bible. The Bible talks about whoever's put in place to be governor, you're supposed to actually kind of respect it, right? And be what it is. And when it was Obama, which I'll be honest, say I'm not an Obama fan. But he didn't like it, and he mentioned something about Republican that was that was a wrap for me. And my issues with Obama were more so on foreign policy, but it was also something I had to learn that I didn't know. I used to be big on diversity and inclusion. I want to see myself in places, and there's some places I think it's important for young children to see black people and be in successful roles, be in leadership roles, or even if it's not black, maybe a Hispanic child seeing somebody, or you seeing yourself, right? But there's some roles you could never be in unless you're corrupt or dirty, or you're going to be dirty, right? And
very much so.
So it was for that, him being president taught me that, And it wasn't so much he's a bad president. He's a president of an empire, a colonist empire, a bloodthirsty colonist empire. He might do a few good deeds, but because of the role he's in, what he's going to be expected to do, it will never align with my personal values. And so he will always be at fault. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because there's no winning in being the leader of this empire. You can't be the leader of this empire and be clean. So to me, a lot of his geopolitics, for example, he gave, even though Netanyahu does not like Obama, he gave Israel one of the best weapons deals. That's where they got all them weapons from now. It was the deal he brokered with them. And I feel like he broke with them to overcompensate for the fact that they didn't really care for him. He was trying to give them a win. That's what kills me too. That's why I know some of the stuff about him is because he was black. Because he was giving them shit that was very conservative. He was more of a right-leaning moderate. So it's so he gave you all these weapons that are special Israel, and y'all just still don't like him. Right. But it was he said something to him about his relationship with Palestine, and it's to me, I'm what you think they was finna do with the weapons though?
Right. Just sit on them.
It's the game. That's what I'm saying. It's the game. Come on,
but
now,
it's
bro.
you can. So it's
they setting the war up. They setting it up. They might not see it this year, maybe 2-3 years from now.
It's a double-edged sword. Going into Libya, shaking Gaddafi's hand, and then doing what you did. And the thing is, Gaddafi did this. They always got something on what everybody done did, but don't talk about shit they be doing.
Nothing, bro. Nothing at all. This my thing because I'm ex-military. One thing I learned when I joined the military was the biggest thing I learned when we hit ports. I learned that nobody fucking likes us. We bullies. Yeah. No, bro. When we pull up, everybody got to say, "Go home. We don't want you here." Blase, blase. They don't want you here. You put up to Japan, Okinawa, Japan. Go home. We don't want you here. Blase, blase. They dropped the whole atomic bomb on their ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They go home. We don't want you here, bro. We go around everywhere, bro, pulling up Porsche. When we pull up, bro, I was on the car, Vincent. When we pull up with the aircraft characters on there. We got 2 submarines with us. We got a battle thing on there. Put up to everybody different ports. But your ass can't put up to no American port with all that shit on your ass.
Hell no.
You can't do that shit over here. We put up to people and it's like, boy, we bullying them. And you can't say shit. And you know what I'm saying? Then we talk shit. And then you got Trump, he damn sure talking cash money shit.
Will there ever be a time you think where we won't be considered such a powerful nation?
I think
once we fall, to be honest, I don't even think we're seen as powerful now. We are now really, everyone is seeing us really as the bullies that we really are for the first time ever. It's like we've been unmasked, which we should have been unmasked a long time ago. But it even took someone like Trump being a president, because ultimately too, what does that say about a country when someone like him is president? So to me, like it speaks to where you come as a nation. Yeah, who you are. Like, y'all deserve that to some degree. And not to say everyone deserves that, but in essence, this is the majority. So this tells you what's really going on, or their thinking, or the thought process. But what he was able to do is like kind of like how you mentioned how those white folks, they feel so disenfranchised. He didn't blame everybody else but themselves. Their own inability, their own self-determination. So they feel like for the first time they have a champion. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to be ashamed to be white anymore. You know how
which is crazy.
Like who was you?
This is what I'm saying. This is crazy to me. And they be saying shit like this. That's why I be like, bro, going on.
Because
it don't even make sense.
When have you ever the fact that
they forget the shit they did up to this from the beginning? Y'all getting y'all ass over here. It's like in their head, they forget everything. White people do not. They have a bad memory. We brought the over y'all ass, enslaved y'all, raped your mama, did all this, hung y'all. We used to hang. We got pictures of it. They got pictures of this shit, bro. They got pictures of this shit, and they still act like, y'all don't have a reason to be mad. Y'all should just get put up the bootstraps and whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing though too. So it's like when people talk about that, some of us are only maybe 2 generations removed from slavery, and then when you weren't enslaved, you were sharecropping for the lowest wage possible. They were finding constant ways to put us in a form of slavery because they never gave us anything to really pull ourselves up.
Make sure you wasn't gonna make no real money.
People were staying on some of those plantations not because they wanted to. They didn't have no money or nowhere to go. So it's like, well, they still stayed, so they must have been nice. They had nowhere to go. Like, what did you expect them to do?
I ain't got nothing.
But then then if we even remove slavery out the thing, what about Jim Crow, segregation, redlining? Like, there's so much stuff. And that was our parents' generation.
And they forget.
So it's like, that was just my daddy's shit. Like, that was just what he had to experience.
And you supposed to like, and as a black person, you supposed to forget and not talk about
it. That was so long
and get over it. You shouldn't talk about it.
That's not like that was
y'all didn't have that's why I tell people can laugh and say whatever they want. When I see white homeless people on the corner, I don't give them motherfucking no money. I ain't getting them shit. You shouldn't be homeless. You stole a whole country.
We've never.
You ain't giving shit. I ain't giving that shit.
He like, I don't understand why. Like, I'm actually curious to know what happened because you're white and you didn't.
Where did you go wrong?
Why to my podcast? If it does well, you can have the proceeds.
You can have, because I want to know. I ain't giving you shit.
You know, and we say that to say, but think about it too. The Jews have never been told to get over it.
Nope. And that shit didn't even last that long.
And here's the interesting part: is they've received millions and billions from multiple companies and country, excuse me. And so, but even if you think about it too, as many countries that were involved in the slave trade in the United States from the Dutch, and brokers, they actually, there's a lot of information saying that too, there were Ashkenazi Jews, there were actually brokers of slaves.
That's crazy.
Brokers of these, you know what I mean? So it's like there's so many from the Dutch, the British, the Portuguese. Like you can go down a whole line, like really everybody. And that's why I'm not so much the FBA. Like, well, actually in theory, everybody owe us some money.
Everybody
owes us. Other
us.
countries owe us some money too for what
France,
happened.
France, damn sure they got over on them Haitians over there.
But see, they owed their money. But then think about France had the
that was just mad because they got their ass whooped.
Yeah, but the fact that it was billions of them that's why they're not doing well. So they're not doing well because they're not doing well. They're not doing well because you made them pay for they to give you reparations so that they can no longer be under your
ain't that shit crazy?
That's crazy as hell. Yeah,
but we're not supposed to bring all this shit up. That shit that's going on right now. You know
but that's the thing, because wealth, generational wealth matters, right? So if I give somebody X amount of dollars 100 years ago and they take that, make that, because there's businesses that are in doing well today that were involved in slave trade.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And again, they doing well today. So how do you think they got that advantage?
Yeah, and maintained it over such a long period of time.
You know, or even think about like even when they were expanding west, they were just giving out land. Yeah. We weren't a part of that.
Hell no.
What about giving us shit? Even when we fought in wars, we often didn't get the same benefits. I remember one time there was a group of people that actually I think they were requesting their black folks. They wanted their like the stuff that they were promised being in war, and they just shot them all.
Man, say, but you're not supposed to talk. But it's white people don't even realize how grind. We supposed to, and then we supposed to like trust in them and believe what they say, bro. Y'all done did so much scandalous fuck shit over years, and to this day, y'all still do scandalous fuck shit, and it's like, oh yeah, we just did this. So when people they get mad when I tell them all the time, bro, we don't have like no allies to me. You know what I'm saying? You might have your few Hispanic few, but as a whole, as in a big thing, we don't really have no allies. Like you said, everybody done fucked over us. Even when we try to look out for everybody else. Hell, look at the shit. What's the name? Them Latinos went and voted for they do quick, fast, in a hurry. And it was a high percentage.
It was for Trump.
No, he's trying to talk about James Tallarico, but let's talk about that.
They went and voted for.
There's more nuance to that. There's way more nuance to that. I will say this. So one thing I think one of my questions was like, how do you avoid like racism fatigue and stuff like that? So I need to, and I'm glad you brought that up because it segues into something that's been I've been talking about all week.
Right.
So I love Jasmine Crockett. I think she's a very educated woman. She's well spoken. She stood up. She's on a committee where they typically hold a lot of politicians accountable.
Right.
But like a lot of Democrats though too, she's a corporatist. She's never used her voice to call out corporate greed.
It's a bullshit. Call it bullshit.
So that being said though, so I'm going to go back to the race we're running at right now with James Tallarico, and my reservations initially with her were the fact that I don't never see you calling these corporations that are robbing us blind because they're the ones getting the real welfare. Right. I do see you going hard against these Republicans and stuff like that, calling them, that's fine. I have nothing against that. But I want you to take that same tenacity and be attacking these organizations that are making money and basically robbing, like they're getting all our resources. Because we talk about welfare.
But what if I'm getting some of the resources so I can't talk about it?
Bingo. Right. That being said, so here's the thing. Jasmine actually only put her hat in the race 6 months ago. James has been running since 2025. James had 30,000 volunteers. Jasmine didn't even have a campaign manager. I honestly, I hate to say this.
So you teaching me something on her.
I hate to say this. She actually felt like she was going to campaign on name recognition and just the Democrats alone. Like, she was at the Cliff Club.
So I seen that.
So
I seen that.
Why are you somewhere that you already know? Like, if you already got y'all out, I love y'all. Yeah. But I already got your support. Like, I got to go out to these other places, these people that don't know about me, these people that I've never met.
98% is a lot. But then said, 95, 98% black people voted for her?
Yeah.
Do you think those same people are going to vote for him?
So here's the catch, right? So right now,
you know how we can be.
Yeah, no, they feel disenfranchised right now.
Who we do?
The people that didn't who she didn't win, but it's like that's the problem. People don't know. So let me I researched both.
He don't start trying to come to us then.
But so he's always so first of all, he already has a pattern of flipping seats. The seat he's in Texas Senate was a Republican seat. He flipped that. He used to be a teacher. Full transparency, I don't like a politician. I like an activist politician. So if you were like an environmentalist, I probably like you more than a lawyer. Full transparency, because a lawyer, I really can't trust your ass. Yeah. So he was a teacher. He was a teacher. He has a doctorate in education. He's also gone to seminary school. You know why that's so important here? Because we're in the Bible Belt. They love to use religion to push legislation and policies. I've watched him in rooms and take that same religion that they were trying to use in the classroom and tear their ass off very, very mild mannerly too. Just in a way, it was very calmly, just broke it down, asked some questions, like to the point I think one time they were trying to get the prayer in the school, but he's like, he's like, so we're doing prayer in the school because of God, it's like, well, since we're doing prayer in school, should we also, talk, like he brought up other things, should we be doing this? Then why are we not feeding these students then? Right. Because God said
they're taking food like this, it don't matter.
Because he's like, we were really told to love thy neighbor. Right. So they wanted to put the 10 Commandments up there. He's like, well, then why we ain't talking about this or talking about that? Right. Well, if you said this is what we're supposed to talk about, I watched him maneuver around them using the religion, using scriptures, and basically throwing them back in their face, right? So to me, that's something we need.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but is black people go vote for him?
So that's the problem. They not, but he actually.
Like you say, they know.
So he's actually a good candidate. Like he was the better candidate. But I think we have to stop. So here's the thing, right? And this is some real shit.
He gonna cut up a bunch of black people because he's seen how many votes.
Who authored Cop City?
What you mean?
Who's authored Cop City? The bills for Cop City. You know, Cop City is like when they basically they built like a state of the art training facility in black communities where they have like they're training hundreds and thousands of police officers and they're bringing.
I didn't know that. Look, you put me on. I didn't know that.
So
you know that.
So they're building.
That's some shit I ain't.
So they're building a cops. They have one in Atlanta.
Okay.
In the middle of the hood in Atlanta.
It was authored by black leadership.
What?
Of course.
They are building one out. I want to say near Tarrant County.
Oh my God.
So this is the thing, right? So I have to say this, and I say this with the best intentions. We don't necessarily need more black faces in high places. Yeah. We think we do,
but they don't be on that. They don't be on that shit
because they get in that role and they don't always care, or they basically they act like the white folks.
Yeah,
you know, different than like we don't really need no more black cops. Like we might, but we don't.
They be some assholes. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah. They worse, goddamn me.
And so I say that to say that we really have to judge people by their patterns, their track records, their policies. And another thing that Jasmine didn't do well is she let them pigeonhole her in her interviews. All her interviews were either talking about the people trying to attack her.
Yeah.
What, you know, her feelings towards Trump.
She should have been talking about the real shit.
But if you go to her page, she actually, first of all, she had a platform where low-key kind of like, you sure you could do all that? Like, it actually reminded me of, like, I voted green the previous year, and they had so much stuff it didn't seem realistic. But I just like the idea that you wanted to do all these things. Right. And so she had this laundry list of wonderful things that she wanted to advocate for Texans, and she never really got to talk about those things. She never, because she was busy talking about attacking Trump and him being afraid of her and the attacks at her, and if there's dark money, and she should have been like, but too, she didn't have a campaign manager, right? So there's no one to guide her. Because again, she thought she had this. And I think there's a lesson there. There's a lesson there. Thing. So a lot of people didn't know what she was willing to do or what she had done. James Tellerico already being in office, he's actually sponsored bills so that marijuana users could be legal. Especially for like I want to say it was like called a compassion bill.
I did see him talk about that.
So he's done that already. He's already reduced the cost of insulin. Which insulin they was just right. Imagine like you need something, you're gonna die. He also made it so that pharmacies are allowed to give out emergency insulin. So let's say you don't have a prescription but you really need it, they're able to do that. He's made it so that people like, let's say their children, they're incarcerated, they can still get a high school diploma. He's actually done a lot of shit if people just would take the time to go like look, but it's like folks just want to, you know, she's a black woman.
Right.
Now I want
to see.
She sings our song.
Right, but I want to see how this gonna go. What is he gonna say? Because
he had a good acceptance.
He needs black people to come out and at least vote, at least put it.
He got 20%. He got 20%.
Bro, the thing saying like less than that.
No, I feel like it had to be a little more than that because I know other black folks that are educated, and I say educated meaning like they informed,
right?
That went out and voted for him.
I know it was like over 90 some percent.
But then I even know folks like wanted to vote for Jasmine and stayed home. Like my daughter, her friends, like, and I hate to look. She's like, bitch, why you telling me? I'm like, but the catch is like this is so.
You didn't get out and go vote.
The primaries is actually the one time that your vote actually counts. Yeah. There's so many other times where we talk about the electoral college and all that stuff. This is the time your vote actually counts, and some of y'all just stayed home.
That's
You're like,
true.
well, I'm gonna go do this, and then like I said, some people like I have had people where I went to ask them like, what do you know about James? They ain't know nothing. So you
formed your opinion.
I like what you're saying because you're telling people pretty much says, hey, if you're not gonna fuck with him, at least get to learn both sides,
and don't fall for the fake outrage about.
Don't fall for even just a black thing,
because that's all I kept seeing, and that's why I was kind of skeptical about her. And I didn't know much about her, what she stood for, but I just noticed that they was going about it the same way they always do.
So she was being attacked, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of the attacks I've seen were primarily from African American men.
Yes,
I will say this though.
Yes.
They don't have the numbers to prevent her from winning. So while we seen a lot of that, because it was real bad, I seen men laughing at her. And it was very to the point where I was beefing with people, and I know I didn't vote for her, but it was the principle that I knew that what you were doing were racist tropes.
Right.
Because it is always too where black women or black people were labeled as ghetto or this or how we talk or whatever, just because we use colloquialisms or we're comfortable or we, sometimes you got to get on the level like your people, right?
Yeah,
so even in corporate America, yes, I have an interview voice. I work in biotech, so when I talk to my colleagues and my peers and my clients, I talk a certain way. But also the ones I'm more comfortable with, They get kind of all of me, or even like I have some that may not be white or they Asian or we know because they white, and then we have our moments or whatever, or even too. A lot of my peers are kind of, I want to say, more progressive, so we can have straightforward conversations about race or whatever. But like I myself, when I come to places, and sometimes I do talk a certain way, sometimes I do. Is that it's still me? Right. And I will say me being my complexion or being whatever, or even the fact some people think I have a degree, I don't. So it's like, oh, what college? I didn't. I did. All this
you
on the street.
Because I thought you had a degree.
I would have assumed.
I would have assumed too. Shit, I ain't gonna lie.
Because I'm self-taught, and that's one thing you learn on the streets, though, is to teach or be resourceful, right? So I always tell my kids, I'm not the smartest person. I just go look shit up. I have no problem going to read and going to teach myself.
Self-taught.
But that being said, it's like people have to go over there and be willing to go do that themselves. And in essence, just because someone talks a certain way, that doesn't make them less intelligent. If anything, that just means that they probably have more credibility and they can reach more people where they at. Because you want somebody to kind of get on your level too sometimes. But then they can go in this other room and talk like this.
But sometimes we don't like that though. Because we hated hitting that bitch came up with some hot songs.
but it was because it was fake.
Yeah.
Because she can't, man, come on, stop playing, man.
You before or no different than when Kamala was cleaning collard greens in the bathtub.
What are you doing?
Now, and even all
stop playing, bro.
And my stepmother, who's white, has never can't clean the collard green in the bathtub. She's in the sink. You know what I mean? And she's got a low key. And black folks, we some of the most what's the word? We're some of the most, like, we hate germophobic people. So even you put you took a cup to the bathroom that you was drinking from, like we couldn't even. I think one time I told the story how I was like 4 and I couldn't reach like the sink, and so I actually just used the water that came out of, look, I have to say this because folks was like, what? The water that came out of the faucet in the tub to pour into my pitcher. And my friend's like, ew, like, just the idea alone was like, I'm like, but y'all was 4. I couldn't, like, what did you want me to do? Like, this was the closest sink I could get to. But we're so germophobic, just the idea, like, you did what?
In the bathtub. You've never done that
it's
before.
The fakeness. That's the thing, and I don't think that she was fake. Even then, someone's like, "Well, she's from St. Louis." Okay, I'm from the Midwest, but I've also been in Texas for 20 plus years, so there is a twang when I speak. So when I'm up there, they know for a fact, like, "Girl, you start to sound like them." Or even down here, it's like, "Are you from up north?" Like it's kind of like,
in between.
I'm kind of due to coming from a military family. I've lived a lot of places, and you pick up the dialect of the people that you're around.
Right.
Easily. I seen a lot of it. It's crazy. The only ad I seen from her was her defending herself, and then kind of it wasn't much about.
So no, she didn't put any money into ads. So there was so much where he just ran a more strategic campaign. Also, I recently discovered that the way that Republicans actually win Texas is they're not getting votes from those high populous areas, so like San Antonio, Dallas, Harris County. Like they're not getting votes from there.
Country ass.
But the catch is those hick towns are the margins. So they're these small little towns and they add up.
Gotcha.
He was going to all those places and Harris County, Dallas County. Only place she went that was not Democrat was Tarrant County, which was next door. So I was right next to Dallas County. I pop up over here. So she really just had a poor strategy.
She really didn't do herself no justice.
No, because I think she made an assumption.
We came out because I was black.
That's it.
But everybody else was like, we good.
Like we need to see more from you. But I think it does show that. So there's like a 7%, I think, like difference between them. So to me, it's like 7% margin. All she has to do is next time come back stronger. Ted Cruz's seat is up. I honestly would have liked to see.
Cause she don't have a seat now because she won't.
So she's out. She'll be. She won't have a seat next year in 2027, but she's still in office until then. But that gives her time to regroup. She can actually go do more things in community. So when she goes for whatever her next move is going to be, I honestly would have liked to see James. Once I'd seen him already, like listen to him speak before, like all of this, like we got to this part, I was like, damn, he should like run for governor. But I'm thinking he needed more visibility. I would like to see Abbott outed. More than anything,
I think we all do.
I'm like so tired of him, and it really dawned on me. And it's so people always like, "Are you Republican? Are you Democrat?" Because I be dragging everybody. Like I'll take you through the woods. Like so, it's like, are you? And the catch is just what day you catch me on, right? So the catch is or who's in office that week. Right. So when Biden and Kamala were there, I was tearing their asses off, especially with the stuff going on in Palestine. That was a big thing because it was like all our money going over there. You know, also too, some of the things that Trump had left in place for COVID era to benefit us as far as like with the economy not doing well, they let all those things expire. So that's when people's unemployment started to go out. So they were kind of just falling back to where they were. So no, they didn't do it, but they let it happen. Yeah. That being said, though, when it comes to, like I said, so people always wonder, are you Republican or are you Democrat? I'm just American. Like, I care about American people. I feel like we all kind of want the same thing. We're always being pit against each other. But
if America was really America, what it was supposed to actually be about, bro, America would be the shit.
But none of that happens, and even the founding fathers talked about that. Even George Washington, when he wrote this letter about one not dividing as a nations, or not as a nations. I mean, as states. He wrote about not allying with other countries. Like, it's cool to be okay with them, or you guys have a good relationship, but all that, he's not to do that. Like, there's all these things they told us not to do, and this is we did all that stuff. But that being said, you know, it dawned on me that for the last 30 years, Texas has only had Republican representation.
That's all they ever had. That's all I can ever remember.
And so, because look how long, because think about how old we are. You was like a kid, you know what I mean? So that being said, none of them have fixed any of these problems. We have a crumbling infrastructure. We're dealing with water scarcity. We have a unstable electric grid. We recently allowed whatever systems we had in place that would give us disaster warnings. We let that go. Our education system, our schools are closing, crashing. Yes. He's allocated money from our tax dollars to go to people that can already afford, public schools? They can, or private schools. They can already afford private schools. They're taking that money. And there's so much that they're not doing where I hate to be like, those damn Republicans, but no, those damn Republicans right now. We need new leadership because nothing's getting done. And think about it, if it's been like this 30 years, they're part of the problem. They either did the thing or they ain't fixed the thing, and they don't plan on fixing the thing. But they keep it making Texas business centric. So that's why people often think, oh, we're doing so well. No, these businesses are doing so well.
Yeah, not the people.
Not the people.
Hell no.
Not the motherfucking people.
I wonder what keeps people because if it's been dominated like that for so long, why don't people see it? Like,
because that party division shit, right? So then, like, those Democrats or those black people, those Spanish. So right now we're blaming Spanish people. We're blaming immigrants, like Hispanic immigrants. I haven't seen recently in Frisco, they're getting mad that Indians are coming here legally.
Oh, definitely.
Now they're on it's Indians and Islam or Muslims. They're big on over there in Collin County. They've been on their ass. I watched I watched some committee meeting. This man even had a Confederate flag over there, just talking about how they problematic and stuff. And the thing about it is, it's their kids that are actually bringing up their test scores and all this other stuff. And it's like, but it's a problem. And a lot of those people came here because those businesses wanted skilled workers, and so they brought people in with those H-1Bs. Like, they came in here legitimately. Now they're mad at them. They're buying houses. They're this. They're that. Like,
white people want to be smarter than what they think they are. And they want shit to be given to them to the job.
Control. But it's just always control.
It's all about control. And I want to put my people in just like they doing now.
They always want to be the only one, but not. You can't. So too, what we're seeing too is also the boomerang effect of colonialism.
Facts.
So you was all in their country. Yeah. White people always, I want to be the. Well, how do y'all feel when y'all up in Hawaii?
Cause y'all took over that them people shit.
Or you know what they've done in Puerto Rico? If you moved to Puerto Rico, you ain't got to pay taxes. And so basically, it all falls on them, and they're struggling. And we're not doing anything to fuel their economy other than really taking and exploiting them.
Yeah. That's how they ever done.
But then going back to, it's like, woe is me. These brown people are coming over here in my neighborhood, and now I have to see them. Like, well, if you should have stayed where you were supposed to stay.
That's what's so crazy about them to me, bro. They've been like this for years. They've been jealous-hearted like forever. They don't want nobody else to have nothing. And if you have anything, we've seen what they did to Tulsa, Oklahoma. They've seen what they did to Florida. They've seen what they did in different little black-owned places in Texas. They gonna come through and they gonna destroy your whole shit. Whatever reason, they don't want. Y'all don't like us, but y'all stay in our fucking business. Y'all like what I always see this one girl. She posted on Instagram. She said, "We just want to be left the fuck alone." Y'all just like Malcolm X said. The beef is really y'all think we gonna do to y'all what y'all did to us. But we ain't even studying y'all. We just want to be left the fuck alone. Like, bro, just go over there about y'all goddamn business. Y'all stick y'all nose in our business and try to control everything we do to keep us at the fucking bottom. Just cause y'all don't ever want to see us be at the top or come up. They see what we can already do, so it's like, no, we don't want that. Because then it's a match.
No self-determination.
Because it's a match now. Now it's like, I'm not really better than you because now I don't have more money than you. I can't match you on this athletically. You can't really fuck with us athletically. So so what is the superior thing that y'all have that y'all keep talking about? When y'all turn on the TV, really y'all talk so much shit. Football basketball is dominated by who?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your best player in the MLB is not even a white person.
I seen somebody say the other day the only sports that have a salary cap are the ones that are dominated by
black people.
Players. And
because them motherfuckers that are $1 billion in
basketball, football, baseball has no cap, soccer has no cap, tennis has no cap, golf has no cap. And it's just like, well, damn, like, and it's only to maintain that level of control, bro. If we can control what you make, then it's just
I'm never gonna pay you this money.
I said that somebody posted the other day about a coach that got hired, that just got fired from Dallas, and he's an assistant coach, but he keeps getting jobs, and like that's the thing, like they're recycling the same old tired coaches, but they won't hire anybody black. And I was just like, damn, I wonder why we continue to support a league that like rubs this in our face so often, like. It's just they have to make rules to where they even have to like interview a black coach. Like the Rooney Rule is bullshit.
That's
but it's
crazy.
There. You see what I'm saying? But you have to interview a minority rather.
Even if you ain't gonna hire them.
List, right? And then the whole staff is still white. You still got a whole white staff for predominantly black teams. And so what is the optics of that in itself?
I mean, to me, it just gives me plantation vibes.
The whole combine, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's interesting?
Ron, John, let me see what you can do. They'll never say that. They'll never. It's the game that they play. It's like she be in our face, like race smack dab in our face. But a lot of people don't. Oh no, you just too woke. You just overthinking it. You just this.
It's that Cowboys jersey on to be happy about it.
Man, say you better shut up and play. I'm paying your ass. You know what I'm saying?
You know what makes me think about just in general, like even thinking about recently, I was discussing integration with a group of people, and we were talking about what led us to that. And really, what led us to that is that they didn't want to do separate but equal. They've never wanted to be equal. So they were willing to let us use their shit just so we couldn't have shit that was just as nice as their shit. Like, no, you're not finna get your own nice new gym or your own nice new books or nothing like that. You can come over here and come use our shit because we not finna do that.
Then you start being too smart. We had to throw something up. We had to throw crack in your neighborhood. We had to throw drugs in your neighborhood. And then, you know what I'm saying? We know you motherfuckers ain't got no money, so what's the first thing I'm gonna do if I ain't got no fucking money? And I know, I'm seeing my home over here. He clocking.
Consistently doing things to destabilize our community, then being like, well, why you not ahead? I forgot who it was, but it was like, you can stick a knife in a man's back 7 inches and pull it out 4 and say you making progress. You not.
Right.
You not. And my back still hurt, bitch.
Because that knife's still in my back.
It still hurt. It's still there.
They never pull all the way out.
Ever.
And if you feel like you're getting too close, they stick it in there a little bit
deeper.
Slow you back down.
That's the thing. And then they don't never want to.
And the problem, too, though, is we gatekeep. Not we, but we gatekeep too damn much. There's been like this. I was talking to someone recently. We were just talking about our work shit. And full transparency, I've probably had the most growth in a non-homogeneous white environment, or like in a non-black homogeneous environment. So it's like an environment where there's mostly white folks. I've probably had more progress there than I've ever had working for mostly black folks. Like it was always something, and it'd be sometimes it's women against women. Sometimes it's like, or even when I got in that space, I remember. So I got my first good corporate job. It was the black man. It was like giving me problems. He even told me like, well, typically, I mean, I wouldn't have hired you, but he said, but I don't tell my employees who to. I don't tell my employees.
That's the hate we have for each other.
But then
sometimes.
The funny part was, I remember when he got let go, I was going so hard for him or whatever, and then my boss was like, well, I didn't want to. She's like, you seem real supportive of him, so I didn't want to ruin it. She was a white woman. She's like, I didn't want to ruin your view of him, but I knew what I knew, but I was going to let you just figure it out on your own. But she was like, you really were, support, like, I was really genuinely upset and blah, blah, blah. And then it was kind of like when I rethought these conversations, and actually it was the day before he got let go, that's when we had the conversation. So it was like, all along, you didn't want me here. Right. They wanted me. So they had, these white folks had to advocate for me, and I was the first black woman they ever hired that wasn't a secretary.
And you had a problem with it.
Yeah, it was like I didn't fit his persona, what he was looking for.
You want to keep being the only black person in the room.
They do that. I think they do that at a lot of jobs. That's why when you get a job and you see some black dude or a black woman trying to look out, you know what I'm saying, and put people on.
It's only so much they can do.
It's only so much they can do because they'll look at them like, nah, bro, we good. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that can, like, get to the point. because we just not being but Hispanics do it all the time.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because I've been in management for like over 10 plus years, right? In a corporate environment, and there are positions and opportunities that are presented to you, but you have to trust the people, the company, the ideologies of the
system.
And I just don't. I just have such a hard time with that. And it's like, once I found a position that I could get to where it's like, okay, I still have a level of family, work-life balance.
Right.
You know, I'm good there. The expectation to me isn't that you all need me 24/7. So I'm cool with that because that allows me to do the other shit that I really love to do. But I've seen it in every facet. Like, hey, there, you know, the next level of this is this. What are you doing to prepare for that? I'm not, bro.
I've actually said that to a couple. No, I'm actually cool because I think.
So you good where you at?
Yeah.
I heard that, bro. Sometimes it's like a lady been at my job, bro. She's been there for like years, and I asked one day, I said, "Why you don't?" She's like, "I don't be no manager."
No,
I like my freedom. She's like, I like coming in and coming and leaving.
My pay increases every year based on performance.
See,
It's still a salary type of deal, so I'm not out here just battling per hour.
Sometimes you don't want to become too important and shit. They be looking for you or whatever you like, but they message you at 7 on AM on Teams. So
hell no, I got shit to do.
And like you say, full transparency, the person that brought me over to this particular company, he was the director of the department at the time, and so we was real close because we started in our positions at the same time. But they let him go. And he was full blown Caucasian. You know, he fit the good old boy profile. So if they'll get rid of you, like why waste my time with that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about something that you did that was just so crazy, but the expectation for me is gonna skyrocket based on who I am and what my demographic is. I'm not signing up for that.
I don't do that.
I gotta be 2 times better than what you do.
I don't do that anymore. I don't try to shatter any glass ceilings. I'm not calling. I'm not trying to impress you. If anything, I'm managing your expectation. I'm doing just enough because guess what? That's what all the other white people are doing, and I'm not doing all that.
Quick.
That or then they keep working you like that. I have a friend that's actually Indian, and he always be over promising. Like, and the funny part is, so I've known him for 3 different jobs now. We've been friends, and every job is stressing out. And what it is like even we met. So what I do is I manage like the IT infrastructure, the relationships of different like startup pharmaceutical or device companies. So like one company might be making a device where you can test for cancer at home. So he's like in finance. He handles all their books or whatever. And so, but he'll want to I can do IT stuff or whatever, stuff like that. And so it's like he's like literally getting like just bulldozed with work. But it's like it's how, and I had to tell him it's how you keep presenting. You tell them you can do all these other things,
Mr. Above and Beyond.
And so you all stressed
That's not
out.
always a good thing.
Yeah, I'm like, stop doing that. I said, if anything, manage expectations. Under promise a little bit. Then every now and then surprise them with something, come through with the thing for periodically. But I don't do. But I will say I used to do that. I used to be that employee, hell sleeter, I'm doing all the thing. And what I realized is I'm still gonna get laid off anyway. Like I'm still gonna get laid off or furloughed when the shit come down to it.
And they don't even consider your performance when it's time. It's based on numbers. How can we cut costs
or who they like more or whatever.
So you're not really important. And then I remember I had a conversation with a higher up, and he was like, "No, Brian, it's not like that." I say it's about who you know and what you know. No, it's not about who you know. No, you did this. I said I've seen it, bro. I've been here long enough. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I done had to let go of people who've had an outstanding performance for years and years. The slip-ups that they had that caused them to get fired, what they've done in the past is not even considered. It's those 1 or 2 instances that matter.
And you can be good.
And sometimes your salary can be too high.
Facts.
And so it's like, I got.
Or you might be there too long. You could be a good ass worker and been at that place too long, and they like, well, it's about time for them to go and let them go. Yeah. Like my job did a whole layoff. My cousin worked there, and she worked there for like 25 years, and they let her ass go like nothing. Or
they limit the positions or the spaces where you can, be promoted to. And so
you'll get stuck. That's what they call it, stuck.
Or pitch you against people you've worked with for years to like battle for this one position that's available whenever it becomes available. So say if somebody's in that position already, now you looking for ways to get them out of there so you can get in there, and there's another person fighting for the same thing.
See, that's crazy. I'm not doing that. If I don't like you, but if I don't like you, I'll make sure I find a way to passively throw your ass under the bus every opportunity. Very passive.
Yeah. That's the way you gotta do it.
Like I'll just put it out there. I'm not even upset. Well, this happened and such and such. It wasn't done, and the deadline wasn't met. What?
If you
and
don't
I'll
do
let them get off.
Yeah.
What leadership? That wasn't like. But they don't know. Meanwhile, the whole time like she on my list. Like, bitch,
And if you don't, somebody's gonna do it to you.
I sat there. It was like I was actually waiting on the leadership to be left, like to the point where it was like they wanted like, when you gonna set up the meeting? Mama, I ain't setting up no meeting because you ain't finna be here for too much longer.
Don't worry about it.
And I don't care that you the VP or you the such and such. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be here longer than you.
My VP did some fuck shit to me, and I saw why I smashed on that motherfucker. They gone. All the motherfuckers gone. I'm still there.
Yeah. That's how my situation was.
And that's crazy. I be like, oh yeah, they did fuck shit to me. I said, all you motherfuckers gone, and I'm still here.
Right.
Now y'all out here looking for a motherfucking job.
Listen.
Yeah, facts.
At least if tickles my funny bone to know this one motherfucker that did some, he still ain't got a fucking job, bitch.
But it do kind of make you feel good looking a little diabolical. Like I told you,
it makes sound fucked up because boy, when you do that fuck shit to me, bitch ass mother, you did that fuck shit to me, boy. Oh yeah, you can't even find a job now, ho. Yeah, I got fucked, you got fucked too. Now you sitting here looking crazy.
It's definitely been one of those things for me in life to where it's like I started very early in that shit, like in my early 20s, probably earlier than that. You know what I'm saying? And just going through the different businesses and seeing the way shit works and people, and like you said, you rarely ever see blacks in high positions. And when you do, it seems like they just yes men or motherfuckers that's placed there, placeholders for whatever.
And they will burn their asses out too.
For real. They be the hardest work motherfuckers there. That's what I used to
burn your ass.
Which is crazy. So even at my job, right? So one, initially I didn't get the job when I first applied for it. I remember my friends thought I didn't get it because I was black. But I ain't gonna hold you. They did hire a blacker woman than me. Like some like actually wouldn't because I was black. But I did see her salary was like $15,000 less than mine because she actually had a thing up one day. So I was like, okay, I see why they probably was like, I'm like, okay. But the funny part, she was such a hard worker. She was so passionate about the job. I mean, to the point where like she cared about every decision they make. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I just hit that I don't give a fuck stage where like I don't work. Like I just like long as my clients like me, I really don't care what anyone at the office think about me. You know what I'm saying? And so she over there, I mean, she be working plus she be working after hours, 15-hour days. I'm working about 4 hours a day. Tell you something. Like even if I actually have to work a whole day, I'd be kind of annoyed. Like
facts.
I work the whole day. Like I'm trying to work from like my ideal hours are from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. After that, like I might even take a midday nap, and that's how I live my life. She over there just going through it. Her and then the other black guy I work with, he was a lead, but the catch is I feel like because he always say yes. I'm like, do you ever just tell them no?
Oh, you got to do that. You got to do it because sometimes you'll take on more than you're actually able to.
No, they were really just taking advantage. And what I learned is they didn't like me because I call them, I say something because I'm at this point in my life I don't really care, and I knew for a fact that I did a good job with my clients. Right. So you can not particularly care for me inside this organization, but my clients actually really fuck with me, and that's I'm keeping your business. So I'm like, you can think what you want, but I think you're wrong. I think even the owner asked me what I thought of the VP. I'm like, I think he's a sociopath. And this is this is why, and like I said, he not there no more. Which like you won't be here too much longer, buddy.
Crazy motherfucker.
No, facts.
But
you can see it.
I watched him like burn them both out, and it was like the moment he really like the one guy, he did something that they didn't like, and it was something really minute. They demoted him. Now, but low key, I was a little salty. So you get to do less work and keep your pay.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to like. To me, that sounds like a promotion.
That sounds like a promotion.
Yeah, like,
give me less work. Let me keep my money.
I'm like, so I feel like they gave you the job I wanted. Man, because I just wanted to be a senior. I didn't want to be a lead.
Listen, I tell a motherfucker that right now. Like, if I can get a position where it's not dependent upon 11
I'm an individual contributor.
Please, give me something where I can just have a singular focus and not have to worry about why a motherfucker's not at work or why they don't like a certain other person.
Listen, these motherfuckers you ain't at work. It ain't my goddamn problem. You should brought your ass in.
I just went from like 22 people, managing 22 people to 11, and I feel like my world changed. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I can breathe again.
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Where the fuck those people go?
Nah, we split it. We hired another manager.
Like, they got furloughed.
I know they ain't fight that many people.
We hired another manager because we got to hire more people. But it's still like, bro, 22 to 11 is just the thought process and
that's
like thinking about it.
Like a lot of personalities and shit.
22 personalities.
22 one-on-ones. But even too with 11, it gives you the opportunity to actually be good at your job.
Yeah, you can focus.
Like I don't just want to do something new. I actually want to do it well. For the 4 hours I said I wanted to work, but I want to do it really. I'm gonna kill it.
I want to be effective in that time period.
But once my Adderall wear off, I'm done. I'm done.
My social media, all that's gone. Well, listen, I know we've gotten through an hour and a half, damn near. And I will say, and this is for those that are watching the shit, you know what I'm saying, they may see this on whenever they see it. We had a whole list of fucking questions. And so that's the point I like to prove sometimes when we come in here and do this. We had a whole list of questions. We probably only answered one, and that's because she asked it. And so I do appreciate that. And I just love opinionated people. Like, I love people that like to talk because that's what makes this shit interesting. You know what I'm saying? And so I think when you have that ability to do so, and like you can do it in a point where it's informational and educational. Like, I learned a lot today.
I did too.
You know, we'll never really talk about politics. I try to avoid it because OB always get us in some shit every time we do it. And like, I'm on TikTok and shit arguing with motherfuckers because of something he said. You know what I'm saying? I still get people who comment on it, you gonna like him and him because he white shit. To this day. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck him, they be alright.
No, I think it was dope. I think anytime you're interested, we here for it. You know what I'm saying? If you can't let people know where they can find you, social media, that kind of shit. Because I think people need to see your commentary and get that from a different type of person.
So I'm Marie Simmons on just Facebook. I want to say Instagram, somebody find mama. Find me there. I will be launching a podcast once I beat this Facebook RICO case.
Yeah.
But just stay tuned. I'm suspended at the moment, but you know, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm gonna win the case too.
Can't keep it down.
Yeah.
What the fuck your shit for?
They said I was promoting drug use, but I wasn't.
What? You the last person. They used to put my shit on hold all the time. I got tired of that shit.
Not the way people be selling weed and all this other stuff. You tell them I made a little joke.
Online, they be going ham.
Telegram.
Somebody made a post like, who you think would win in a fight, Cardi or Nicki Minaj? I'm like, but you know Nicki be messing with coke. So I'm like, well, I don't know, because coke do make you strong.
That make your ass wild.
I said cocaine made you strong. That's why I should have just said coke.
Yeah.
I used cocaine, and now they like, you promote drug use. I'm like, but I wasn't. I was just stating the facts.
You gotta go back and read.
So in my appeal, though, I wrote how like that's valid. Like it wasn't valid. This was
bro,
education.
can you imagine her appeal? Just think what did she probably type the whole.
I bet you it was lengthy.
Hey, her shit ain't gonna be in that long. That shit gonna be out there. She gonna listen. By the time we get out these motherfuckers, she gonna check that shit. She back on Facebook.
Facts, nah,
man. Case, listen.
Well, how long they give you?
They ain't even tell me, so they messing up my monetization.
Oh shit!
Because that's how I make money from there. I'm like, y'all, my money slowing down. I'm like, y'all really trying to play me. And I've been having some hitters lately. Been having some hitters.
Listen, if they need us to sign a petition, we with it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Free to real. But definitely, it's your boy Caution 700, my brother OB.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know where to find us, man. Appreciate everything. Take care.